All right, welcome back for game two. We have a decent hand here. We've got a Disfigure, Seagate Oracle, Doomblade. So again, we've got some pretty decent removal. The Doomblade's not going to do a whole lot in this matchup because our opponent has mostly black creatures, but we're not going to mulligan. So our opponent did not mulligan either. We'll probably lead with the Creeping Tar Pit, so we can get into the Seagate Oracle on turn 3. Okay, so yeah, we'll go ahead and lead with the Creeping Tar Pit. And then next turn we'll have Disfigure if he plays something, and we'll play the Rocky Tar Pit, which will get our fixing going and give us the mana to cast the Seagate Oracle on turn 3. So opponent's not doing anything, that's good for us. We also have a backup Dreadbore now, that's also good for us. So we'll go ahead and pass the turn again. The Grim Monolith. Okay, well, if we draw a Phyrexian or Metamorph, that's going to be really good for us. Ooh, Phyrexian Arena. I think we're going to cast that this turn. We're going to go get our Blood Crypt. We're going to, unfortunately, have to play it untapped, so we can cast something this turn, but it is important that we have it in case we need to Dreadbore something. Because he could have one or both of those Elspeths, so... Yes. And we're going to play a Swamp. And I think, yeah, I think we definitely want the Arena here to start getting that card advantage going. So the life might, or the damage from this might add up over time. But all right, so that's unfortunate because we don't have a lot of removal spells that deal with that. So we may have to use this Dreadbore on it. Or an Engineered Explosives for 0, so that if he ever flips it, I think it's worth Dreadboring this, and then playing the Dimir Aqueduct. We want to play the, let's see, we could Dreadbore, play the Dimir Aqueduct, bounce the Swamp, or we could play a Swamp, Dreadbore, and put Explosives on 2. We could play Explosives on 2 and go ahead and blow it to kill the Grim Monolith, and just leave this out for a turn. It's not doing a whole lot to us, and we can deal with the 2/2 vampire that he makes with the Disfigure, so... Yeah, I like playing this. I like getting out the Explosives and killing the Grim Monolith before you can do something crazy with it. Okay. Right, so he either has to attack us or put a vampire into play, so either way we will be able to deal with it the turn after. Elspeth. Well, good thing we have this Dreadbore. I think it's very much more important that we kill this than killing this. And now we can make our own Bloodline Keeper. That appeals to me quite a bit. So we'll play the Swamp. We'll play that. Actually, I think I'd rather play the Seagate Oracle here. No, we need to get this out so we can jump block. We can never flip ours, but that's fine. We can still keep the token engine going as much as he can, so. And if we draw Recurring Nightmare, that's going to be really good. Because we can just make tokens to sack 2 Recurring Nightmare. F6 the turn while our opponent plays his other matches. We'd like to... Drawing Viscera would be really good. Drawing Grave Titan would be really good. We almost have enough to cast the Griselbrand. We will be able to at some point. Wow, that was a really good draw. This guy's deck is pretty good. Wish we'd seen that. So we're about to lose our Bloodline Keeper, but that's okay. It happens. Okay, let's see what we get here. We get a Swamp and a Grave Titan. Hey, exactly what we wanted. So we will play the Swamp, and we will play the Grave Titan. Okay, so our opponent's getting a pretty good army going, which could be a problem, but we may be able to get back into this with the Grave Titan, because he's gonna need to block this, so. And he can't Liliana this turn. Also, Grave Titan brings his own Liliana protection in the form of his zombie tokens, so. We're almost certainly going to play the Dimir Aqueduct this coming turn. We'd really like to draw like Sorin's Thirst or something, just to try to gain a little life here. If we do draw Griselbrand, that would be really, really good for us, because we'll be able to play him in 2 turns. So we're not out of this game yet. We've got a few options available. Although our opponent could attack with all 3 of his flyers this turn, and that would be pretty bad for us. Not having removal. A lot of our removal, unfortunately, cannot target black cards, which is a problem, but that's the problem with some of the removal in the cube. We didn't see any of the... I mean, we saw a few other pieces of removal, but I don't think we took the wrong cards over them. So... Probably play the Seagate Oracle this turn. Although it might be worth attacking the Creeping Tar Pit into Liliana instead. So, yeah, our opponent's going on the aggressive plan. That's fine. Not really a whole lot we can do about it. Is this the other Elspeth? Oh. Well, that's a thing. Well, we drew another Living Death, so that's also a thing. So our opponent would get a Bloodline Keeper, and we would get a Grave Titan. But that would kill us. No, we would have Disfigure, so we could keep it off of us for a turn. So our opponent would get to attack first. We could disfigure it. We would take Well, it is our only shot, so. Unfortunately, our Phyrexian Metamorph does not get to copy anything. Oh, we'll return a swamp. Alright. Our opponent's going to have a hard time upticking Liliana right now, so, but we have plenty of lands to discard, which is good for us. So apparently our opponent does too. Okay, so we really could use a Griselbrand here. Gideon, wow, that's really good. Yeah, well, it looks like we're attacking Gideon this turn. That's fine. We go to 1, we draw a Ratchet Bomb. That does not help us. Neither does that. So we Seagate Oracle, looking for something that does help us. I don't know what we can find. We need a way to deal with this guy. And our own arena. We'll take that. Put that on the bottom. Tag Gideon, of course. So now we know our opponent has plenty of Planeswalkers. We're definitely going to board in our Blightning. So that's really good against Planeswalkers, especially this one. Gideon's going to be dead at least. So that's a good thing. But again, doesn't really matter because we're dead anyway. I'm not going to concede just because we'll make our opponent go for it. We also get to see additional cards that way. Alright. Okay, so we're going to board in the Blightning. I don't really have anything else, though this Deep Analysis might be worth playing. So we're going to board in the Blightning for the Doomblade. Or the Snuff Out. The Snuff Out's really bad. So, every one of our removal spells hits non-black creatures. That's crazy. So, alright, we'll be back for game 3.